this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Red Hot Gaming $40,000 tournament quarterfinal matchup between Henry and Goose Guy. My man Goose, sub to VFGG, that is Victory Formation GG. I think his guy Swalosimo, who's one of the best content creators in the Madden community over there. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link to them down in the description. Some sponsors for this event: Oklahoma Esports, 818 Madden. I'll leave a link to their website down in the description as well. That's where Fancy stuff is, and Fancy had the best year this year of any of the competitors. So if you guys want to check out that, and then RH Gaming is kind of the big host of this event, and super big shout out to them. What they're doing for the Madden community is it really should not go unnoticed. They're really doing a great job of just bringing even more opportunities for competitive Madden to be advanced, which I'm super excited about. I love breaking these games down for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them, and I feel like I learn something every time I do one of these breakdowns. And also shout out to my man Dot. Dot's been streaming a ton. I'll leave a link to his Twitch down in the description as well. If you guys want to check him out, he has been streaming a ton. One of the best players in the world as well. One of my favorites next year to make a live. He made a live in Madden 24. And then didn't make one this year, but he did make a couple winning get-ins. Now, let's go ahead and get into this matchup. So we've got Henry on one side, and we've got Goose Guy on the other side. Now, Henry, best Madden player ever, right? Best Madden player ever. And honestly, this last year of Madden 25, he didn't play up to his par. I think he'd probably admit that. He just didn't have a great year. Made a couple of, I think he made one, maybe two live events. Made a lot of winning get-ins. And was right. He's right there on the edge all the way through. But it's rare that we go through an MCS season and Henry is not in the MCS playoffs at the end of the year. Kind of a crazy down year for him. But he's in this event. I think he's part of helping put this event together. And he's still the best Madden player of all time. So he's the clear-cut favorite coming into this event. This would kind of be a great way for him to, win an event, get some momentum going into next year. And he's playing Goose Guy. Goose Guy is probably the best Madden player that I don't think has ever made a live. He's one of the better Madden players every single year. He's really good defensively. He's really good defensive mind. Always has some good blitzes and good concepts that way. And he's also one of the best U-Trips players every single year in the community as well. So he's going to be running U-Trips offensively, and Henry is going to be in the 6-1. Henry loves this 6-1 defense, and he kind of runs it a little bit differently than most people. Henry is good friends with Mills, and Mills, one of the best defensive players every single year, kind of the creator of this 6-1 defense. And so Henry is going to be running this, and you notice here, he's shifting his line away from the tight end, and he's going to be doing a lot of manual press, manual bumping. I think they call it zombie walking, where he's going to hit left trigger and X, I believe, at the snap of the ball, and that's going to lock his user onto this tight end and really be able to take him away. And then when this user locks on, he's going to switch stick off and go find somebody else to guard. So the whole idea for this is we're trying to take the tight end out of the game, right? Trying to take the tight end out of the game, which is a big part of the U-Trips offense. And then also we're going to have a lot of pressure, right? We can send 6. We could just, if we wanted to, we could just send 4 and get really good sheds, right? So some of the different things there. Goose going to start out with a little run, and that's going to bring up a second 11. Another good thing about 6-1 is just a really good, simple defense, man. It's very simple, but it is very effective. And I believe Henry's going to be running a lot of cover 0 too throughout this game. So here you see Goose setting up some pass protection, and he's going to have a little drag and then a nice out route here to the right side. Really good combo. Notice Henry's user locks on here, and then he's switch sticking off, trying to get into coverage. He actually gets clicked onto a defensive end, I believe, there, unfortunately. And Goose Guy is going to throw a out route and drop it on the sideline. Now, again, Henry's going to be running a lot of cover 0, kind of a different flair of 6-1 than what you normally see. He's not going to run a lot of cover 4 here, but he is going to run a lot of cover 0. So you're going to see Goose Guy kind of trying to attack that right side and really isolate that right side. Here we got a comeback route on 3rd and 11. Going to hit a nice drag route over the middle and get about 5 yards. Brings up a 4th and 6. One of the things that I think Henry does the best, I think Henry might be the best ever at this. Henry is going to be really good at predicting the routes you put on the field. He really will. So, what did Goose Guy throw the first couple times? He threw this out route. So, what's Henry going to do? He's going to put a cloud here, and then he's probably going to cross man this drag. And basically, if Goose had a streak, it'd be a touchdown. But Henry's so good at in-game adjusting. So you see here, he actually leaves this. I think it's a quarter, but he goes to cover 2 on this outside, right? And then on this left side, we've got, looks like a man up in a cloud here. So he kind of forces you to throw this drag right at his user. Goose blindly throws an out route, and that is a pick 6 early in the game. And this is what Henry does. This is why you watch Henry. This is why you study Henry. This is why you try to learn from him, because one of the best skills that he has is the skill of anticipation. He is going to be able to predict what you're going to do. He's going to guess what you're going to call, and he's going to put the perfect defense on the field for the things that you're going to do. And he's right the majority of the time. Henry is really, really, really good at adjustments and adjusting to what the offense does pre-snap, right? Pre-snap. We are kind of living in a new era where it's primarily a lot about switch stick, and I definitely think that that's not necessarily Henry's strength. I think his strength is pre-snap adjusting and also reading the defense as well offensively. That being said, it's not like he's bad at switch stick either. So you're just going to see how this plays out. So here, a little motion blocking, nice corner route. He's going to hit it and go. But Henry also is going to do a really good job of like adjusting at the right time. So he's going to kind of let you have something, and then he'll adjust right at the right time, just like he did on that 4th down, and take it away. So that's another thing that Henry's going to do. Anywho, goes a little bit more of a zone look there on the right side. Still has that backside manned up. Nice read from Goose to Johnny Wilson, the biggest wide receiver in Madden this year. This guy's massive. Former Eagles player. Another little thing that Goose is going to do is he's going to motion over to block this blitz, allowing him to put his tight end and his back out into the pattern. There's a busted coverage there on the right side, and that should be a touchdown for the Fridge. Big Perry into the end zone for a touchdown. So Goose had 2 possessions on offense, resulted in a touchdown for Henry and a touchdown for Goose. And now Henry gets the ball up a stop, and we'll see what he's able to do. Now, Henry is running kind of a unique offense as well. We don't see a lot of people running this as their main formation. Henry is going to be running bunch spread nasty out of the Chiefs playbook as his primary formation. And Goose is actually going to be utilizing this nickel 3-3 defense, which was a defense that we saw Big Tay utilize situationally in the MCS playoffs. But now we're seeing Goose Guy kind of run it as his main defensive look. And I will kind of break down a little bit of what you're going to see here. But this is, again, it's going to primarily be bunch spread nasty versus this nickel 3-3 defense. It looks like Goose probably did a package of some type. Let's go ahead and break this down. So bunch spread nasty from Henry, and then this 3-3. So the 3-3, if you stand right here and you hit this lineman, this linebacker can come through the B gap on both sides. So you can do it on the right and you can do it on the left. Another thing with nickel 3-3 is really good for man. And you're going to see Goose go with a cover 2 man, shaded down look. Nice read from Henry early. And take a look at what route combo Henry ran. Henry ran good old smash return just from this, right? Clear out streak, drag, little return, and then a deep in route or post on this backside. Nice post or in. Nice route. Able to get a nice completion. And Henry is one of the best offensive players every year. I believe Henry's the best defensive player we've ever seen, primarily because of his ability to adjust. I mean, he was getting stops when nobody can get a stop. And but I also think he's one of the best offensive players every single year. His route combos are always really, really good. Does a good job of attacking the entirety of the field. Another thing Goose is going to do, this is something interesting, is that these safeties, most defenses this year, these safeties are up here. Because he leaves these safeties back, he can put them in almost anything he wants. So they can be in deep halves, deep thirds, all that stuff. So Henry going to go to a little cheat slot cross play. It's a great little play. It's been a good play beginning of the year. Kind of just old school, kind of an old bunch concept. Honestly, I think the play was called PA Read in bunch offset in Madden 23. Was a really good play. That's kind of the same route combo that Henry was doing here out of that bunch spread. Here we're going to get a baseline press look. This is a zone look. Notice these corners are on the outside. That it's going to tell Henry it's zone. So he's expecting zone coverage. He's probably expecting cover 4 or cover 2. He gets that cover 2, gets that seam streak right in that area. This is a great read from Henry. Again, he put a streak. Why is this effective? Because there's no slot corner like in dollar. You can't defend that if you're engaging here. You're going to get great defense over here, but Henry can really manipulate this right side, as you see he does, and it's a really nice read, able to attack kind of the soft spot of the defense. I think Henry's one of the best offensive players I think he's one of the best players ever pre-snap on both sides. He will win the game pre-snap. He'll flip, he'll put the right routes on the field for what you're showing him. He really does a great job pre-snap, being able to put the right routes on the field. There it is, touchdown. You see it again here. And again, what is he doing? Henry is isolating this right here. That's why this left side, in this formation, it has all kinds of stuff that floods over in this area. Henry is isolating like this half of the field. So he's making the game easy on himself. He's only really reading the right side. And so what does he do? Streak. He has a streak. He has a return, a curl, and then like a cross. So what does Goose do? Well, he's outflanked. And so he can either give up this crosser or he can give up a touchdown. He decides he'd prefer to give up a touchdown. So he robs that and touchdown over the top to the streak. Good read by Henry. And Henry looking good. Looking real good. Looking real easy. We'll see what Goose is able to do offensively. 2 blown coverages for touchdowns. Nice kick from Henry. Notice they always kick it off to the right. Another little thing you'll see a lot in these games. There normally is a consensus way to kick off where you're not going to give up touchdowns. In this year's game, it's kicking it to the right at about the 5-yard line. Manually pressing that tight end. There's that speed out again. Just missed it. I think that's actually just a regular out. I don't think it's a speed out. A nice route by Goose. Just couldn't make that throw. And again, because Henry's doing so much to neutralize this tight end, it really kind of limits what Goose can run. Gets that whip right off that time. Able to hit it. Get upfield with Olsen. Good read. Now he's going to audible over to trips. He is in the Patriots playbook. He's going to go with a nice speed out zig combo. Hits that speed out. Nice read from Goose. And again, I mean, notice what Henry's doing. I mean, this is crazy. Like, crossman the whole team. Nice little flat. Almost got out there on that speed out. Love to know how he gets his flats to get out so fast. Probably pass committing. There's that manual bump again from the tight end. He's going to basically play 2-on-2 on the left side. He's always blitzing off that left side. And there's that zig. And again, when you play highest level of Madden, one of the biggest keys is to simplify the game. And you're seeing Goose start to simplify the game. He's not really attacking over there anymore. Little drive post combo, motion block, tight end corner, Cooks. Very nice. And Goose is starting to isolate, and he's starting to say, you know, basically, how can I get my routes, you know, to isolate them in man coverage where I know the route normally wins in man because Henry's running so much cover 0. And that was a nice drive by Goose right there. That was really nice response drive. And now Henry's going to come out for his second drive offensively. We'll see if how Goose adjusts. Notice a little bit more cover 2 this time. There's that curl again. And Henry got a bad pass lead here. So sometimes on the smash return throw, He got an out of reach animation, bad pass lead. I don't know what happened. Just unfortunate. You see his facial expression. Hilarious on the left side. But gets a bad pass lead, and he gets picked. Henry's when Henry throws the ball, another thing that is really cool about how he plays the game, it obviously kind of backfired on him there, but one of the things that I think he's actually, again, just really good at, he throws on timing, and again, he throws on timing and anticipation. So he's going to throw it on time pretty much every single time. And sometimes if you get weirdly bumped, that it can mess you up. And I think that, I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad pass lead. It's just unfortunate, whatever it was. But anywho. I just got an idea for a U-Trips combo that I don't know why we don't see more people run for the switch stick here. It's actually I'll show you in a minute if I get it if I remember it. One of the reasons why Henry's manually bumping this tight end is because it's going to neutralize a couple routes. I'll show you the route combo I was thinking about. So he's going to come over here. So you see you got this right here. He's going to manually bump. So what that does is it really neutralizes like a streak, a post, or a corner. Any vertical route is really going to neutralize. The things that become open, though, is a drag or something like that, maybe. So what I think this play could be pretty good. Y option wheel or whatever, slot clear out streak, and then you have this backside in route. And that's like basically it's a variation of kind of a smash return type play from bunch. But see it here. So like if this was your clear out, this was a drag, this was an in, and this was a post. You could pop all these pockets, and then what I would do is a table or just block to running back, either way. So you see what? So you see I have a tight end corner, and these stem up curls are kind of an interesting combo. It's because he's going to motion block. So he's going to motion block here. Watch this tight end. Henry misses the manual bump. So now the tight end's free released off the line, and I don't know if that's because of the motion block or not. But I think Goose messes up the motion block. Anyway, the tight end's going to be open for a touchdown. But because he messes up the motion block, he gets pressured just in time. Somehow completes that curl. That might have been one of the weirdest completions I've ever seen. But he is able to hit that curl right on anticipation, right on time, and he had the tight end for a touchdown. Ball on the 11-yard line. This is where the game is kind of won and lost inside this. Another thing that I would do, because of the way Henry's playing defense, I mean, even this right here, like he's in scat, you could do like a corner, you could do like a drag, and then maybe like an in. That would be a pretty good play for the way Henry's playing defense. Did you see how that outside corner snapping in? This would have been a touchdown here. Goose reads over here first, so he takes his first open read. Another thing you'll see a lot from passers at the competitive level is most players are reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, for example, like this play, Goose probably is reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So if we take a look here, right, he probably is looking here, 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 and then maybe somewhere in here, okay? So if you're him, you read no, but you saw that back up just enough, you can rat catch this, turn it upfield, and with Big Perry, a lot of times break a tackle. But 2nd and 7, turning to 3rd and 3, 4 yards, in the cloud of dust type of mentality. Not a bad read from Goose. Not something I probably need to get better at throwing that route right there. Peppering that 5-yard flat. As long as you're getting more than, 4, as long as you're getting more than 3 yards, you're going to get a first down. There's 2nd and 3. Tight end short corner on the left with a smoke screen. Don't love the smoke screen. Nice playmaker in the back of the end zone. Hits that drag. And he's going to get a touchdown. So he gets so basically Henry got a pick 6, Goose got a pick and then scored 6. And so we're kind of back to what the game should have been anyway. And essentially both guys have gotten a stop. And we're now going into the end of the first half. There's been a lot of things happen in this game. So anyhow, Surprised we're not seeing more of an inside quarter. Now Goose starting to bring the safeties down. Let's see what he does on this right side. He is going to cover 2. I don't know why he runs so much cover 2 on that right side. I'd love to know that. Because what you would do normally, I'll just show here. So you see how I move that safety down. Now watch the right side here. So you see Henry's flipping pretty much every time too, kind of messing Goose up in terms of Goose wants to blitz on the solo side because he can really take that section and have 5/3. The problem is this section over here is really basically 2-on-2. So anyway, what most people will do is quarter or middle third this right side. What Goose is doing is he's consistently deep halving him. So if you watch, you see how you get the pressure user. He's also Goose is dropping this guy over the middle. The problem is because this is a deep half, this throw is like very open every single time. Not going to throw it here. It goes to the in route. He had it. He was throwing it just a little late, actually. So right there, see, I'm just surprised Henry's not just running streaks every single time on that right side. Let's see what he does here. It's 3rd and 7. So again, flip. It's really messing up Goose. That's another reason why I don't like nickel 3-3. Because you have to flip it again and again and again. I don't like nickel sets really in Madden because of that. But they do have some advantages. So now Goose he is gonna flip. And yeah, I just feel like Henry. Yeah, see how he brought the safety down? Just enough. That took that throw away. By just bringing the safety down just a little bit, takes the throw away. He would have had that crosser, but he ran out of time. Able to scramble up. Now Goose is rotating between man alignment and base alignment, and he's honestly telling Henry, I'm definitely running man here. But he could adjust out, I guess, and he does here. He does adjust out into a cover 2. A lot of cover 2, though. And the only other person that I've really seen run a lot of cover 2, a little bit differently than Goose Guy here, but he's basically cover 2, is Skimbo. It's really the only other person I've seen this year run a high amount of cover 2 as kind of a base shell with the linebacker in the deep blue, which Goose isn't even doing that. He's using a mid read, which, by the way, if you watch these mid reads are really good in this game. They cover the slot seam streak, especially on a 3 wide receiver set. So because Henry's on a 3 wide receiver set, if he ran 2 streaks, the streak on the left would get the slot streak would get guarded on this left side by the mid read. Well, kind of an underrated little thing. And the mid reads do a lot better than deep thirds. So watch that mid read. Look at that. Look at that right here. Perfect how that worked out for us. Look at this. Watch this mid read. Right here. He's matching onto this. Henry actually switch sticks onto him. He doesn't really have to. This is going to take it. Or a Goose Guy switch sticks onto him. I'm almost positive this would take it. But it's really a nice zone. And there's that vert hook. And there's stop. 4th and 10. Or 4th and 3. Gets a straight up stop on Henry. Don't see that a lot. And that was just, that was just vanilla cover 2. Really, at its core, that was basically cover 2. Motion block, tight end corner, not there. Drag route, and bad playmaker. A lot of times these guys playmaker off just automatic. They're so used to playing cover 4 every play. And go tight end whip for Goose Guy. He is able to manually bump that press. That's a nice press. That's a really nice speed out from Goose. It's a nice throw there. Now Henry's kind of starting to get popped. Or there's too much open right now. Got to tighten up defensively. Here's a run. Why does Goose Guy run here? He's going to get it down to the 2-minute warning. So now he's got it. It's going to go all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Goose Guy's going to take a sip of water, hydrate, think about things. And what Goose Guy's trying to do here is make sure Henry doesn't get the ball back in the first half. He ideally would take all Henry's timeouts. There's still a whip route on the right side. Again, Henry's doing most of his coverage is cover zero. He's putting a zone here and there, but he's mainly adjusting out of a cover zero shell. Pretty much every time. Goose going to take time out here. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. It's kind of a big down. And again, because of the way Henry's playing defense, Goose is a little more limited. He can't throw some of the thing, and that's a great switch. Okay, so Henry scissors, which you barely see this adjustment this year, but he scissors. So he mans this up and mans this up, and then he's going to use her over here, right? So what he does is, remember, Goose on the first drive, or second drive, he threw this wheel for a touchdown. This wheel is going to beat him over the top. So Henry knows that. So what does he do? He switch sticks here to the safety and just fully commits there. That's a touchdown, but he did it in perfect timing, anticipated it perfectly, and gets a huge interception before half. Really nice because Henry gets ball at half too. So now if Henry goes down, scores 3 or 7, he can come out of the first half. He can come out in the second half and take the lead. Really nice defensive play there, just a good switch stick. And again, you watch Henry play, you start to see he anticipates these windows really well. Post, good switch by Goose. Good defense by Goose there. And again, now he's really, now you see here, watch the right side. He didn't bring him down. He didn't bring that safety down. So watch that right side. It's wide open. Henry doesn't hit it. There's a post. Good pressure from Goose. 3rd and 10. And you got to bring this safety down. Here he does. He brings him down. He knows it's a big down. You see here, cover 3. He doesn't get it off. The seam streak would have been open again. Good. It's just, yeah. That was just something. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a bad playmaker from Henry. Watch here. At this point, this is going to get open. You're going to turn this upfield. He playmakers it back, and then he throws it, and the zone just kind of dumbs out. But it was actually there. Kind of interesting. All right, it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. If you're Henry, this is a little bit of a decision because if you don't get this, you're basically giving Goose points. This is a huge down. Henry's going to call his best play. Goose is going to sell out for underneath stuff probably. We'll see. There's that walks down. Basically playing cover 3 cloud. Good flat route. And again, if you're Goose, you can't give this up. I mean, that's just not... I wish we could see that coverage one more time. We see it right here. This is a hard flat, but it does not play the hard flat. Look at this. And I love that little 5-yard out for some reason is so much better than a regular flat route this year. Anyway, the hard flat appears to be zone dropped, backs up to at least 10 yards. That's just a really, really bad defensive play by Goose. You can't leave the flats that wide open on 4th and 1. That's obviously, and you saw there 15. The flats are on 15, so yeah, just not a very good defensive play there by Goose. Yeah. You cannot have your flats on 15 right there. And there's that playmaker. Now you playmaker the zig into a drag. This is something that's really cool that guys are doing with playmaker. So what you're able to do is if he lets this just run, like right here, so if he lets this just be a zig, it's going to go here. But if he sees, I see there's a defender here, he can playmaker it to the left by flicking the right stick to the left, And see how now, because the user is going to go this way because it's a zig, right? He playmakers it. Now he goes back this way, and now he's outflanked him underneath. So it's kind of a way of basically creating an option route underneath. And so it's a really nice little playmaker trick that Henry utilizes there, able to hit it for 5 yards. Really nice route. So now the zig route is kind of the ultimate route because it's able to attack basically anywhere and beat man. It's really hard to stop zigs. And there's that curl again. Goes with that kind of slot cross play. And you're seeing, I mean, pretty consistently, Goose is cover 3 clouding or cover 2 in the left. Kind of high-lows that right side flat. Good read. "25 seconds. Henry only has 1 timeout, so he does need, I think, a few more yards for field goal range, but at this point in the year, doesn't need a lot of yards. Kickers can kick from, 60 easy. And just straight cover 4 from Goose this time. Kind of like this. Haven't seen this much yet. Kind of changes up everything. Good defense, and he bags him. This is why it's so important to every now and then just. I really believe you can get a lot accomplished if you just run like cover 4, cover 2, cover 6, a cover 0, a match. Just kind of every now and then, sprinkling in something a little different to change that post-snap picture. Really, really, really helpful. When these guys start to get in a rhythm passing. You see there the cover 4 do a really nice job of just taking away some of those underneath angles. And then what does Henry do? Immediately goes to a flat zig combination, and Goose stays in cover 4 and not, able to kind of hit that completion right in the area. Now he's probably in field goal range. But honestly, 60 seconds, a lot can go wrong here. Take a sack. You can't take a sack. You can't throw it out of bounds. That's why Goose sends a little extra pressure. Nice flat route from Henry. And he's going to be able to take some easy yardage. And that's going to bring up 32-yard line. So very clearly in field goal range now, but kind of similar if you take a sack or, you can't do that. And I love this play. So what he's doing here, blocking his tight end. He's got a table. And then he's basically just got a verticals play. Let's play. I wonder if he's in Seattle. I thought he was in Chiefs, but I don't think Chiefs have lunch tight end. He might be in Seattle. I know Kobo is his buddy is in, I think, Seattle. Or Tampa. I don't know. There's a lot of good books right now. All right, 8 seconds left. And this is really the weakness of nickel, by the way. I need to point this out. So, again, that Goose is, look at this. So, Goose is flipping, and he's always sending the blitz, pretty much from what we've seen. He's going to send the blitz off this side. So, the problem is for Henry, Goose can only run 1 or 2 coverages because his user has to be in a yellow. He can't put his user in a flat. This guy is going to be blitzing. This guy is going to be blitzing, right? So these are the only 2 players you have in coverage. So you can run 1 of 2 coverages, really, because of how good seam streaks are. You go quarter, or you go quarter or deep half or outside third and cloud flat, or even middle third. So Henry, just a simple out route against cover 4, gives him some easy yardage. So this is a good little play. And you see here, there's just a simple flat. Another real reason why Henry has the flat routes on these plays that's kind of underrated is if he needs to throw the ball away, he can just throw the ball away if that flat was covered, and he'll just throw the ball out of the bounds to the flat route side. So, again, good situational football from Henry down the stretch to make sure he doesn't take sacks or do any of that. And but good first half by both these guys. And that's going to get us into the second half now. Well, first half recap from Maze and Dot. I also need to leave a link to Maze's YouTube where this video actually was streamed on as well. But here we go, third quarter. And Henry has ball first offensively. So again, look at this real quick. You get quarter. Henry runs a wheel. Not able to hit that like he probably wanted to. The reason for the wheel is if he cover two'd, the wheel would get over the top of the cover two. And ideally, Henry probably wants to throw that on cover four, but he can't in this example. And then here he gets, kind of high-low here. There's a lot of... I will say, again, one of the other things you're seeing Henry do, we've yet to really see him run a corner route to the right. And why is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these guys can defend over in this area. 4 over 3, 5 over 3, right? But what Goose is consistently doing is what you'll see here. These guys are all blitzing. You really only have 2 in coverage. So Henry's just running everything across the field. So you see here, little mid-draw run, get to a hash, and that's a third down. So again, you get the 2-on-2 on the left. Now this time, Henry does flood the right. And look here, I mean, Goose switch sticks, kind of tries the midpoint. Crosser's coming open, missed it, and got just enough pressure. That's going to be a big 4th down and 6. Henry has consistently been getting put on 4th down as well, though. Good route. Good catch there. Goose was probably hoping for a KO. This is just a standard bunch combo. Really nice. We get a drag, a table, and then we just get a streak, corner, post, or streak and fade. Real nice route combo. That does a really good job of kind of really opening up the middle of the field. 1st and 10, ball about midfield. And again, this is a big drive just for Henry to get in front of the game. Ideally, you want to get 7 here. A little mid-draw, being a little more methodical. A little bunch tight end mid-draw, never hurt nobody. A lot of audibling around, a lot of, but it's primarily bunch spread, bunch tight end. Really likes bunch tight end for some reason. I think the blocking from bunch tight end might be good. Bunch tight end has a lot of good play action plays, I know that. Play action blocking is really good this year. Henry's really stayed in bunch, though. I mean, he's done a lot of his work out of these bunch set, which we really haven't seen bunch be top level other than when Clef ran it. Here we see a little drag, not able to get it. Get just enough pressure and another 4th down. And again, having to flip. Nickel corner's taking forever to get over there. Gets quick tight. Oh, nice read. And this time Henry catches him. Catches him in cover 2. His defense is all discombobulated. He literally ran the exact same play he ran on the last 4th down. And then you get this fade right here. This is why Henry loves this offense. Because they have these fades that pop cover 2 really well. And you see Goose trying to lurk here. Not able to get back there. And touchdown for Henry. Good read. Had Goose had a soft squat on that right side, he might match to that. But Goose really hasn't been doing that. And good play by Henry. Able to pop cover 2 in a big down and get himself a touchdown, get in front of the game. So realistically in this game, probably 3 possessions left. So this is a huge defensive possession for Henry. Needs to get a stop here. At least hold Goose to 3. Let's see what he ends up going with. Goes with a little motion over block. You'll see Henry's starting to. So this is kind of the chess match of U-Trips and 6'1", and the way Henry's kind of played this game defensively, Henry is getting to a position where he can kind of just sit in zone. Goose is consistently blocking a tight end, blocking a receiver, and Henry's just going to start dropping people into coverage. This time he sends 6, and that's all he needs to do right there. You just need to do that once or twice a drive, and you see, I mean, the manual bump at the tight end just messes up the offense. And I mean, this is very simple. There it is. Nice switch stick. And again, right there, immediately goes to a coverage look. Ironically, you see here, Goose blocks 6. A lot of these games, man, they're really boiled down to, are you going to block or not? And if you're not going to block, we can send the dogs. But if you are going to block, it's way smarter to just play a bunch of coverage, have switch stick out there. Henry now over here. Gets that motion block. And has a cloud for the corner. Nice route on that right side. And I want to say, is that level sail? I think that's a level sail table route. There are certain table routes that beat man, and there are certain table routes that don't. The hot routed table route is not good against man, I believe. But the stock table routes out of some formations, they can actually pop man coverage. And right there you saw him able to get a completion against man. Come back right on the left. Not going to have the time. Able to roll out, though. And able to get a nice first down with Bo Nix. Goose going to try to use a little exhale run play. No, he isn't going to go tight end whip. You're going to see that manual bump on the whip. And then Henry will get off. Very nice. Good post route. And again, all this is what Goose is starting to do is he's starting to give himself multiple options to be able to beat man coverage in his plays. So if Henry takes the tight end, there's a lot of other options. Here we go again. Here's level sail again with that table route on the left side. He loves that table route because it beats man coverage. Nice combo, but not able to hit anything. And we're going to get a 2nd and 10 situation. These are really simple trips plays that Goose is using, but just kind of mixing them in. I love this play in the red zone or this part of the field for Goose. This is stutter cross seam with a tight end crosser. He's going to turn it into a post. Don't love that. But the post is there, but not able to catch it. Got KO'd. All right, so 3rd and 10. Henry walks this guy out, probably to man him up here on the right. Or flat him. Now we're going to see how Henry's user comes in here. Now he's going to do a different blitz that he's done all game. It's the engage blitz from 6-1. User's going to jam in the line, send 5. And good pocket there. Good spot on that ball for Goose. Able to kind of hit that in a soft spot of the zone. And now we're going to get a goal line opportunity for Goose. I don't love him passing here, but he is going to do it. As the drag catches the drag. Doesn't get in. Facial expression is awesome. And whip drag combo again. This time has it again. High ball. And nice play by Goose. Oh, I think he comes out in U-trips with 3 tight ends. All right, so Henry, kind of a critical drive here from Henry. This drive, again, realistically, probably 2, at the most 3 drives left in this game. Henry needs to get 7, and then he needs to get a stop defensively to win the game. That is basically how this game needs to go for Henry. Goose probably, is going to be able to be in a position to have a money drive as well. Good throwaway by Henry. Could have been a lot worse there. Good defense from Goose. And again, it's a lot of this, cover 3. This is the main coverage we've seen. Now he has to set it all back up. He's going to get quick hiked. That's why flipping, when you play a nickel set, there's a free touchdown. Free touchdown. This is what we talk about, man. When you play a nickel set, look at this real quick with me. If we go back here, watch how this all plays out. So when you play a nickel set, he walks down, and this is the coverage he wants. He wants this deep half. He wants this cloud normally, okay? Normally is what he's been doing. When Henry flips, watch here real quick. So he's going to flip Henry can set up his play faster than Goose. So he's now setting up his play quick. And now look, the nickel corner's still slowly getting over there. And Goose is doing this out of stock cover 3, right? So this is now a third. This is a third. This is a flat. And he shades it. And he doesn't get the deep half off. He just doesn't get the adjustment off. So here it is. Watch, this is not a deep half. I believe this is, like, see how it kind of buzzes? That's a curl flat zone. And you see there, Henry just pops him. And look at Goose's face. Super frustrated with himself. And that's right there. Henry, very good pre-snap. Been talking about it all game. He does so many things pre-snap that I feel like people have all just never really paid a ton of attention to. And one of the things is he flips against nickel sets. When he plays a nickel set, he's going to flip and flip and flip because it messes up that nickel corner. Most people are going to flip their defense, which gives Henry an opportunity to quick hike and get you in a defense you didn't want to be in. And right there, it cost Goose 7 points. And even more so, one of the big benefits to Henry scoring there is when Henry now gets himself into a position where Goose has to drive the length of the field. Henry probably gets the ball with 3 or so minutes left in the game and the ability to clock the game out and go win it himself, as opposed to Goose having that opportunity. That touchdown was huge for the flow of the game. Little motion block combo here again. Send 4, should be bagged up. Everything's caged. Good defense from Henry. Goose guessed wrong. Thought he was going to get pressured. He didn't. And his play didn't have enough options for the coverage that Henry wanted to do. All right. So here, the fridge. 5-out combo. Did get blitzed. Got that running back right out route. I hate that route against a blitz. It worked for him there, and he loves that running back route. He's called that a couple times. My personality and the way I play offense, I can't stand when my running back runs through the line of scrimmage and he gets hit, and it's just so clunky to me. But Goose able to hit it. Nice read. Heavy pressure from Henry. Gets that corner route on the left side. It's a nice play. Doesn't get his feet in bounds. But that was a nice route. And I'd love to see him do that more. That route right there is really hard to guard in U-trips this year. There's a lot of ways to get to it. But that's a really nice route for a lot of what Henry's been doing, is that corner route on the left. Here, Henry, notice one little thing here. So Henry kind of comes out on a defense I don't think he wanted to be in. Instead of calling a timeout, he runs off sides. So because he runs off sides, now he doesn't have to waste a timeout. And I think Goose declined it for him even, which is nice of him to do. But just something little. And now Henry changes defenses, though. He is in something different. I think this is this 3-5 odd? Take a look at this. Goes to a completely different defense. And Henry will do this a lot, where on these big downs, and he gets a fumble out of it because Goose is not on conservative. And Henry, I don't know, he might have been on conservative. Jenkins just pops him. Look at that hit stick from Malcolm Jenkins. I don't know. Goose might have been on conservative. He might not have. The hit sticks this year, sometimes if you get it perfect, especially if you have avalanche. I don't think they allow avalanche, but that could have been something. Anyway. Pressure. And now we get a fourth quarter. Henry obviously in a lot more control of the game now. See what he ends up doing. Little halfback mid-draw. Henry going to be really methodical here. He's going to try to take a little bit of clock. And Henry's ideal world, he takes a lot of clock and he scores a touchdown to make it a 2-possession game. 2nd and 3, might run again here. No. And goes with a really horizontal drag there. Kind of pops that right into a nice soft spot. Ball on the 30-yard line. Get a fade. There's that zig. See how Henry playmakered that again, but this time kind of the play got away from him pretty early. And see how that's a hard flat, that cover three. That's what happened. See, there's that hard flat. He's got to get that adjustment off. He didn't get it off again that time, and I don't know if that's intentional. I can't think that it is because it's normally off a flip. Here, that was really bad for Henry. He gets an intentional, and honestly, not great play calling last couple plays from him. And now Goose is starting to kind of change up how he's doing this. He's not really sending the blitz anymore. Okay, now he is. Little halfback draw. Good call from Henry. Why call that a halfback draw? Ensures you're in field goal range. Keeps the clock moving. Now you get a 4th and 13. And now you go, you force Goose to score a touchdown. I don't know why Henry did not take that all the way down. Kind of interested as to why he did not take that all the way down. There's got to be a reason, because he kicked it pretty quick. Maybe he thinks, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to give himself a chance in case something happens. Little zig route. Nice speed out. Goose is pretty good at throwing that speed out on that trip side. It's a hard throw. All right, here we go. We've got 1st and 10. Handoff. Perry. The fridge. Little 2nd and 1. Tight end. Or PA slot out. Fade on the left side. That's a touchdown on the left side. He just can't throw it. He doesn't have time. Yeah, this is a touchdown on the left side, but just the pressure. Just can't. Yeah. That's the power of pressure, man. Pressure busts pipes. And the X factor in any game is if you're getting pressure, if you're getting sheds, if you're getting that pressure. Had Goose had time, that was a touchdown on the left side. 3rd and 13. Goes with the same play. Pretty much. Henry's now going to go to the disengage. So you got to realize Henry's setting up a completely different defense. So you need to set up a different route combo. Goose does do that here with the corner route. He's now going to check. He's checking late. Doesn't have the time. Can't set up a full-fledged pass pro maybe. And Henry bluffs the disengage and sends 6. It's actually a really good play call by Henry there. He bluffs that engage, send 4. Goose thinks he's going to send 4. He sends 6 from the same look and forces Goose to throw a check down to the flat. Now, look at that. Moves that guy over. He can bluff this pressure, and he can man up across the board. You see man coverage, and he's got him. Playmaker, bad throw, and Henry gets the stop, and now this is full clock management mode. This is full in-the-game mode. Goose jumps into 6-1, trying to stop the run, trying to make sure he has some pressure. And Henry going to go with the little outside zone out of bunch tight end. That's why you run that formation, because that outside zone is so good against most of the defenses in the game. Henry gets a free 1st down out of that. And now 2 minutes. The other real nice thing about that run is he's now for sure in field goal range. And that field goal is going to put him up 2 possessions. So this should be 3 runs. 3 runs and done from Henry. He might pass once, but we should see at least back-to-back runs here. Passing on 2nd down is not a bad, not terrible either. And there's that run. Good defense from Goose. 3rd and 8. Goes into the trips. Goose's defense messes up. And Henry decides to pass. Love how he scrambles there, and he immediately slides. He might have been able to scramble for that 1st down. You saw some of the facial expression there in the back and forth of that. But he immediately slides just to make sure, no fumble or anything. Sometimes those D linemen can disengage or pop off the blocker and tackle the quarterback, maybe a fumble situation. So good conservative play by Henry. And Now we're going to see, Goose taking flat routes down 9. 2nd and inches here. Minute 38, no timeouts. It's pretty hard to do that. Looks like some issues with the controller. Anywho, 2nd and inches. And a little flat route to Perry. But, I mean, these flat routes are really irrelevant. Got to get the ball down the field. And go with a little scissor action on the left side. No. High-low read again. Tight end corner. Now that's going to cost him. So look at that clock. That's minute 30 completed inbounds. Now, if you're Goose, you might be taking a field goal once you get in a position here to give yourself a chance for a Hail Mary. If you get an onside, throws it again. And now you're see how that clock's just ticking. That's a spike. Should be a field goal and then onside here. And he is going to do that. He's going to take a field goal, and then he is going to try to onside for the game. Well, he's able to get that field goal. And now that's going to bring up the onside. He goes with the high kick. I wish we could see... does it not show us? Oh, I guess it doesn't show us the thing. Huh. He's going to go with the high kick here. Going to go mid-power. Perfect accuracy. Hits that back line. He catches it. And able to fall down with it. And that's going to be it, boys. GG's. Henry is going to move on to the semifinal matchup against Wesley. Thanks for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out all those links down in the description below. A lot of those guys are doing great stuff for the community. If you're looking to take your Madden game to the next level, a lot of websites linked below. My site's down there as well. $10 takes your Madden game to the next level. Gives you everything that I know about Madden and about college football. If you want to sign up for any of that stuff, that's all in the description below.